All right, guys. Paul Singh, Market Speculator, bullsonwallstreet.com. I just sent an alert out for Tesla. I want to explain that really quick here because it's not a setup. We've traded a lot. We did it with Apple a couple of days ago, and Apple's doing pretty good. We entered around 147. It's at 148.50 right here. I've got my day trading platform up here, so hopefully you guys can see this okay. Tesla right here. Here's the dailies. Was a gap down yesterday. In the report, we talked about that test of the all-time high. This line I've drawn here is the old high, and then we broke out from it a couple of weeks ago. The gap down on earnings, and there have been some overreactions. We've seen it in Apple, we've seen it in Facebook, we saw it in Netflix, which ended up being a really nice trade for us that we played off a reversal as well. And now we're doing it again with Tesla. Big tech has been on fire. Even when they get a little bad news, they seem to bounce back. So yesterday it came right to the all-time high here, and then it bounced today. And we talked about that in the report. If it could hold that level and look like it was bouncing, and I talked about it filling the gap and getting up here around 311, 312, I've decided to get a little more aggressive. We can maybe profit a little bit in here, and then it gives us a nice spot to manage our risk instead of having to use 12 to 15, no, more than like 15, 20 points to place our stop under that old high. We only have to do 10, around 10 to 15 points now. So this is an easier way to manage our risk, even though we don't have the strongest signal just yet, but we are seeing some strength today. Now, where I would say, okay, the gap down is over and we don't have to worry about it, is if we fill this gap here and the 9. So once that happens, we really have an aggressive trade, and we could even add to it at that point if we wanted, but I think I've taken a big enough position size here where I probably wouldn't add. But initial target will be, we entered right around 305. Initial target will be 330, 340, 350, somewhere in there. So we're going for a pretty big win here and risking to a little below where the old high is. So that was the idea behind the Tesla trade here. I want to go over it really quickly because I know a lot of you guys aren't used to this setup. It's worked with Apple. It's working with Apple. It worked with Netflix. Facebook here didn't give, I was watching Facebook closely as well, and it didn't, well, I don't want, I'm in AAOI for a day trade, so I don't want to take that one off. Let's take SWIR off, and we can see here, if we pull up the daily on Facebook, it tested and was actually showing some strength earlier today, but has pulled back in. And there's a risk of Tesla doing that today too. It's still early. It's getting close to 10 o'clock on the West Coast. Market will close at 1, but I just didn't feel like waiting, and it's low enough risk here where I can be a little more aggressive. So anyway, that's the idea behind the Tesla trade. We're playing a gap down potential reversal in a strong sector or area, which is big tech.